favorite sound to hear right after that.
Mhm.
All right. Like during the early game of that. All right, we are back. Overdrive League Summer 2018. We are in week 3 of Platinum League, getting into game 2. It is now BMO's Commandos versus Illumination. I'm your caster, Desterix, followed by my co-caster, Kirby. How you doing, Kirby?
Pretty good. We just watched a pretty epic game, a huge comeback game from Illumination Empire. The undefeated team was challenged in the early game for once, and this game they're up against BMO's Commandos, which, give me 1 second, they're currently sitting at 6 points, third place in the league. So they are doing slightly better than RAR. They're 2 points ahead of RAR, but still, it's like David and Goliath. So let's see if David can challenge Goliath this game.
Yeah, we've been waiting for Illumination to finally have their fall from grace, but they are just too strong as the bands go through so far. Aurelia, Talon, Nocturne, and Karma taking off the Rift. 2 more bands to come. And nothing out of the ordinary so far. We do see Talon constantly appearing when they take those bans. Most likely targeted towards Enobino. Haven't really checked his op.gg. Find out soon enough, but Kaisa removed as well. Something Bronze Cape Gatekeeper did quite well with at the late half of the game. Early on, he was just dog food.
hmm Uh, and just because she is like a really strong ADC right now in this meta, which ADCs just aren't strong at all. Being one of the relatively strong ADCs, you don't really want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to ADCs in the current meta, one of the 2 strongest do AP builds. Everyone else is doing these like really fast hitting on hit builds. We are starting to see like a little bit of the crit start to resurface thanks to Stormrazor, but still the Lucians, the Kaisas, the Ezreals, they tend to shine through a lot more often than any of the older champs like Ash or Caitlyn.
Indeed.
And there we go with the picks. Seeing that Misfortune picked up on the side of BMO's Commandos. And we were just talking about the Varus. It's being covered. Varus and Jax.
From last game, they knew a Misfortune could get ahead of the bot lane against Bronze Gatekeeper and Must Negate. They were trying it again, but hopefully they're doing it better this time than last game, how Roar did, and translate into late game better with this Misfortune pick.
See, I don't like the way these guys are drafted. I gotta throw that out there. The bot lane is so volatile right now. So volatile. If you just save that bot lane pick and take a couple of flexes, you'll have the other team in a complete panic. Like, what the hell? Where's this going? Where's going where? What's going what? And then it gets really hard to actually be counterpicked. It makes sense on this side for Illumination to take their VAR since they already saw the Misfortune, but it's just, come on, man. Flex those flex picks. You gotta flex those biceps as well.
Exactly. Just pick your Vladimir first, pick your Aurelia first. No one knows where these champions are gonna go.
Well, Aurelia is banned. Just throwing that out
Rip?
there.
Well, ADC's already picked, so they just don't want to see an Aurelia mid.
This is something we saw banned out in game one. Maybe we're gonna see why it was banned out as we hit the second phase of the draft. So far, Illumination, they glow in purple.
Just like the bans of last game.
Pretty much. Like even the Kaisa. Background of the Talon. Kind of Aurelia. But yeah, Pantheon taken off the Rift. Has to be a target ban. I see no other way.
Yeah, I would love some Pantheon action, but probably not today.
Does seem like the focus should be on the junglers, but I'm not sure. Does Pantheon, is he still able to go jungle? That's the only thing
Pantheon,
he could have really gone.
it's a really cheese thing, but it's definitely possible. Like if you know how to do it, Pantheon can get rolling really quickly. His level 2 gank is so strong, like you just take your red buff, come out, jump on people, and that's a level 2 first blood.
Yeah, and the final ban going out will be Trundle, as well as the other side, Shyvana. So finally getting those jungle focus bans to come out. This leaves up some power picks, like the Graves, like the Xin Zhao. Talia still on the board, have yet to really see that picked up.
Yeah, Talia is so strong right now, and she's so fun to watch too. I would love to watch some Talia gameplay.
Okay, we're staying on the color scheme, kind of. Green is not too far off from purple. Yeah, second face of picks going through. Orianna gonna get picked up. They were watching that game. They saw how good it could be. The Orianna Misfortune against Illumination. Looking to try and they're saying we can perfect that. We can go in, get the same lead, but this time close out the game.
That's what they need. But they also did not respect the Jax pick from Europe being muted, which kind of surprises me.
This is interesting. The Dr. Mundo doesn't work well against Varus. Even though he becomes this unkillable wall, Varus is pretty ridiculous. Nowadays, people still go for that AP build where it's the Rage Blade into the Nashers, into the Rabadon's Death Cap. Same thing you'd go on Kaisa, except the difference with Varus is it's like, once you get those Blight stacks and you're level 18 and you pop it, that's like 70% of your maximum health that's being targeted in magic damage. It is ridiculous how well Varus can do against high HP champions.
And with the EP build, you can get a voice staff and things like that. A lot of magic penetration. Building MR just doesn't help in the late game.
Yeah, so now our compositions are completed. And I got to give it to BMOS. They definitely have a draft that can work. It's just, there's a lot of variables in it, though. The Ornn is one of the biggest picks in this in terms of synergy because it enables the shockwave and bullet time, and it's not a hard move to pull off.
Yep, definitely. Ornn is a team fighting monster. We see a lot of players in pro play and amateur play all pick the Ornn up because it's really easy to pull off an Ornn ult. And once you pull that off, people just get knocked up and there's nothing they can do.
They're forced to take the damage that follows.
But we are seeing Europe being muted on Jax again, and against a team fighting tank. That gives Jax much more room to just split push. Like last game, the Singe was at least being a little annoying. Takes some time to chase him down and kill him. But when Ornn is with his team, Europe being muted is just gonna split push, keep playing PvE, and maybe like last game, single-handedly take out all of the turrets in the top lane again. We will see how BMOS Commandos have to answer to that.
Honestly, despite Jax still being one of the best scalers in terms of top lane picks. Probably number one being Gangplank. Ornn does very well against a Jax matchup. You know, you talk about the Counter Strike. Well, he can knock you up at the same time the Counter Strike goes off because it won't stop the animation. There's a lot of CC available that can really turn off that Jax and thwart any engages. Pair that up with the follow up that can come from either Flock of Moonsen or introducing. It's going to be a tough lane for him. I think it's a pretty good pick to take into this Jax that's ever so loved by You're Being Muted.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Now, what about this Olaf pick? This is really interesting to me because they're trying to put up a lot of protection. They're trying to put up a lot of protection around Flock of Moonsen and Bing Bong through the Stand United and being able to hold off engages, being able to thwart those with a chain of CC and shields. But Olaf doesn't care about CC. We see the Ragnarok go off and just charges on in and starts taking names however so he wants.
Yeah, so Olaf just basically stops the CC, all the CC right there. But one thing is, when Olaf ults, he is extra vulnerable to damage, so they need to burst him down when he ults. Like the Misfortune, the Orianna, they just need to peel back and keep trying to burst him, I think.
That only really goes early, though, because the later this gets, Olaf becomes very, very tanky. Really, you could put him along the lines of, in terms of damage, he's very reliant on cooldowns because of the true damage he's able to put out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are going to hit the load screen and get into this game and see if BMO's Commandos can be the one to take down Illumination. Time to take a look at the keystones, and something peculiar is the Predator picked up on the side of Olaf.
Predator, I think this makes sense because Olaf just wants to run down people, so he just wants to activate the Predator,
I guess I
run
haven't
them
seen enough
down.
Olafs. That's interesting.
I think what's even more interesting is Grasp on this Jungle Mundo. So usually for Jungle Mundos, we see a lot of precision keystones. So fleet footwork, most likely. Sometimes it's what's that? Conqueror. I've seen Conqueror. It's kind of a cheese thing, but fleet footwork is really common because it gives you a better clear. It also gives you the movement speed to stick onto people when you gank them.
Yeah.
But introducing is just taking a really safe path in terms of keystone, just taking the resolve primary there.
Yeah, I mean, fleet footwork has been good on a lot of tanks, even Sejuani, where it was popularized just because it keeps her so healthy and the reasons you were saying earlier. But Grasp, though, that is a strange one. That's always been more of a laning runestone.
Because it helps you with trading in lane.
Yeah, this isn't going to really provide anything towards this jungle line. I mean, you don't exactly go into a gank being like, oh, I need a heal. Oh, time will tell. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe it's the new OP.
We will see.
Time will tell as once again, double bot side starts. And Sordo on the Olaf. Olaf is very notorious for having a low health clear. But the thing is, he excels at low health clears. The lower he gets, the faster his attack speed gets. So it only makes him clear faster The scary thing is if he gets caught out in the jungle during that clear, if Introducing can find him, it is a very critical moment that can turn this game all into the favor of Introducing.
Yup. You'll see if the junglers will opt into counter jungling or just skirmishing in the jungle. You are being muted just chunked a huge chunk of health out of LG Handsome Jack.
Yeah, Handsome Jack not having too much of a fun time yet. He's taking advantage of those early levels. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sordo goes after Flock of Moonsen. Flock of Moonsen taking a lot of punishment, a lot of damage. Isn't going to go down just yet, though. Doesn't even burn Flash. Sordo walks away defeated. And he doesn't have Reckless String. Just swing, mind you. Just got it off of that minion wave.
Oh wait, he did have to burn Flash there because he was way too far up in the lane. He didn't want to
Right. Completely
Yeah.
missed.
He did burn Flash to be right in the beginning because he knew he was out of position. So, but that was a smart Flash because he doesn't need to back right here. He didn't take damage from the Kassadin when Sordo was running him down, so he could just slowly heal back up and stay in lane.
And Introducing, looking to go onto Enobino. Backup is there in the form of Sordo, so not much of a fight going to break out. Once again, very, very calm start. But there we go. The taunt goes out, lands onto Musnagate, who takes a lot of damage. And that's first blood picked up by Shmurby.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Musnagate did not respect that early game Shen damage there and got punished for it.
Oh, I didn't see it coming either. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, you don't expect Shen to do that much damage. That's the aftershock, the Q going off, as well as the ignite. It all kind of just culminated into this extreme explosion onto poor Musnagate, who is playing a fairly squishy champion, mind you.
Yeah. It's just a classic Shen level 2 cheese.
Ooh, Handsome Jack. Be careful with that cooldown because it can cost you dearly. And we're seeing just that as Handsome Jack forced to flash away. Why flash at this point? He falls to "You are being muted."
You are being muted on his cat into Jax, dude.
I mean, I can't even praise muted for that because Handsome Jack missed. He missed that searing charge by a long shot. Like,
Yeah, that was a little confusing to me too. A huge misplay gets punished. Like, yeah, Orange does have the upper hand in this matchup, but not if you misplay, so you get punished for that.
it was all going so well so far, and then you had to go and feed the Jacks.
The split pusher who you don't want him to get online so soon.
The Grand Duelist. It's Oriana. Fiora. Look terrible. Oriana in the game. Don't blame me. Yeah, so far 1-1 apiece. Gold pretty much tied up. Nothing big to come of this game just yet. Kills swinging both ways. Though, still mostly in favor of Illumination because that first kill on their side going over to Muted is going to bring big things. Meanwhile, Shmurby got the first kill on the side of BMOS Commandos. Fun name to say.
Schmurpy.
Shmurby. And there we go, the stun going out onto Handsome Jack. Here comes Sordo to provide some backup. It works well, but not well enough if you're constantly being harassed and missing your skill shots. You're being muted, and Sordo coming up stellar in that performance.
Yeah, and Sordo, the Predator boots coming in there, just straight up ran him down. And Handsome Jack right now is so behind, like, after this, he probably just can't even 1v1 in lane against You're Being Muted, and this is what he wants. this might be the first tower going down too, because Handsome Jack does not have TP.
I mean, it should have been just fine. The Shockwave used in the mid lane onto Enobino, just used for harassment, get that damage, forced Eno to have to back, make him too afraid to go on with an engage. That first tower does not fall just yet. That first break is up for grabs. Handsome Jack does make it in time, and double recalls coming out on the top side for elimination. But there goes that taunt once again. Bronze Gatekeeper having the wherewithal to go for the flash, but it's not enough. Shmurby Derb is going to be the quarterback of this matchup.
Shmurby Derp, the MVP right here. He goes so aggressive on Shen, and he knows his limits too. With the Ignite, they're just able to take down Bronze Gatekeeper. And it seems like Bronze Gatekeeper hasn't been having the best of games today.
Yeah, in terms of laning, it's been pretty bad for him. He's been able to come back in these games, and a lot of that is off the back of his teammates. But here's Sordo looking to get the gank onto Bing Bong. Out go the axes, a chain of damage. Bubble doesn't land, heal is popped. Shmurby Derb might choose to go back in with the taunt, chooses not to go for it because it is a 3 versus 2 type fight. But they do get Bing Bong out alive, and he didn't have to burn his flash.
Speaking of Bronze Gatekeeper winning off the back of his teammates, it's mostly you are being muted and Sordal too. Sordal last game has been making a lot of plays on the Warwick. This game he is also making a lot of plays on the Olaf. What?
Oh no. Introducing. Almost gets caught out. But here comes Sordo providing some backup. Predator is used. Stand United being popped. Out goes Call of the Forge God. Shockwave lands onto Sordo. Enobino is here to provide some backup if so needed. But with 4 members there and 3 looking to fight back, they don't want to take this exchange just yet.
Taunt barely misses there, and Introducing will actually get away with that cheeky invade.
Cheeky did cost him a flash, but hey, got away alive. His teammates backed him up. Good job, mate. Good job.
Good job.
So this is where it's kind of scary for Flock of Monsoon, because Kassadin is the anti-mage. He excels at these types of fights, and a lot of that is because of the silence, because of the magic shield he gets. If you're fighting a Kassadin's mage, you're going to have a hard time. But speaking of hard time, Handsome Jack just can't land that charge onto You Are Being Muted. In fact, he should not be fighting it in the first place. Gets the clap onto You Are Being Muted, flashes away and gets the outplay. Too cocky was muted in that exchange, but in the bot side, Cloud Drake throw it over to Illumination.
Ooh, You Are Being Muted. Up 2-0. Tried to dive there, but Ornn is just too tanky. With the shield he got there, it just barely saved him. You Are Being Muted started doing damage to him while the shield is on, so he couldn't kill him, but he was taking tower aggro. Way too much tower aggro. A juicy misfortune damage.
Oh, double up is a nasty skill. Yeah, a lot of cockiness there. I guess at the end of the day, just pretend you don't know what you're doing. And then they'll try some of the dumbest plays possible on you because they think they'll get away with it. And before you know it, Handsome Jack has a kill. Here we go, bot side. Attempted gank. It's a very confusing one. And just ran in there, like his ultimate, and said goodbye immediately after.
Never mind.
But once again, here he comes, introducing the cleave gank. Is it going to work, though? They do not find it under the tower. Introducing goes, one more cleaver should do the job, and they're able to pick up 1 kill. Meanwhile, Ragnarok popped onto Flock of Monsoon. Reckless swing, doesn't even need to go out. He just finds the autos and takes him down. But here comes a fight between the jugglers. Who's going to drop first? It's a double kill picked up by Sordo, almost dropping to the minions immediately after, and that's a 2-0-1 Olaf.
Oh no. Grasp was not able to save him there. That's all I could say.
Don't fall for it, Handsome Jack. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. You don't want to take it. He fell for the trap. Once again, Searing Charge goes out. We tried to warn him, but down he goes again. Call the Forge God running over his corpse. And now that is going to be first brick. If it didn't work the first time, I'm sure it's not going to work the third.
Ah, that was hella unlucky. Handsome Jack outplayed Under Tower for one time, and he thought, maybe I can leave my tower now. But nope, the second he leaves the tower, You Are Being Muted just solo killed him.
Well, he had the Volcanic Rupture out, and he thought, oh, if I keep it there long enough and, you know, try and get the Searing Charge onto it for the knockup, this is going to be the outplay I need. It wore off. It was absolute disaster for him. But meanwhile, the bot lane Ignite popped onto both supports, but down goes Must Negate once again. The bot lane of BMOS is styling on Illumination.
Yeah, Must Negate was definitely not expecting this damage, but here comes Sordo.
Yo, this could be turned around if they try hard enough. Unstoppable still doing work. That's the thing, though. You gotta wait for the Ragnarok to wear off, and instead it's a double kill over to Swordo.
Introducing, trying to look for a cleanup. Does
trying.
get the slow though.
Yeah, they're just slowing each other. Battle of the slows.
And Sordo will come out ahead on the battle of slows. Yeah, Sordo is really putting his team on his back. Flock almost died in the mid lane.
Yeah.
This is only a level 10 Kassadin. It's just gonna be way scarier when he hits level 11, when he gets his rank 2 ultimate.
And Orianna is one of the safest farmers, one of the easiest to farm with, because you get that bonus magic damage on hit on every auto, as well as the low cooldown of command attack. That's a Kassadin out farming an Orianna. That's something wicked right there. And speaking of something wicked this way comes as Sordo sets up a gank onto Flock of Moon Sen, and look at the slows, look at the axes come out, forcing the Stand United to be popped from Schmerbyderb. But a fight is gonna break out in the jungle. Introducing versus You Are Being Muted. Interference being ran, but Call the Forge God, he didn't even use it. And that gives You Are Being Muted enough time to run away as backup is here. They want Introducing. You know they're gonna find it. As Sordo, unstoppable 5-0-1, finds a revenge kill. And ever so sweet it was.
A huge misplay by Handsome Jack there. He did not get the second charge of his ult. If he got it there, You Are Being Muted might have to die, but now he doesn't, and it might be Handsome Jack who's going down.
Oh yeah, absolutely going down. Doesn't have the charge anymore, so off to the Shadow Realm you go. At this point, it's looking all Illumination right now. Even though the bot lane of BMOS is doing quite well, a Misfortune can't really do much against the Jax unless you got the CC there to set up a bullet time.
Yeah, and even if you try to get the bullet time off, You Are Being Muted can negate a lot of damage with his ultimate and jump back onto you with that counter strike.
And we are starting to see a roam come out from Enobino. Towers are now evened up 1-1 apiece, but the gold still 2.3k in favor of Illumination 16 minutes into this game, which isn't too much just yet, but considering a lot of that gold concentration is on You Are Being Muted, it's actually devastating.
Indeed.
Look at the gold concentration. Look at the kill concentration on the side of BMOS. Who has the most kills?
The Shen support.
There you go.
At this point, he might as well just start building Split Pusher.
Yeah,
He
just
has
get an
all the
Infinity
gold.
Hedge. Here comes the Predator coming in ever so fast. Swordo smells blood and he wants to have a barbecue, just needs the meat collected to start that one up as they go after introducing Shockwave lands. It's not going to do anything, but the bullet time does a lot, gets the back line off. Now Swardo is ever so deep, pretty much by himself. A nice double taunt lands, must negate, drops with Swardo, still doing work on this back line. Wants to take down Handsome Jack. Swardo still alive, finds another one, but here is You Are Being Muted, and down goes Schmerby Derp as a triple kill is picked up by You Are Being Muted.
Squirtle was still alive with like 10 HP for a long time there.
Well, we were talking about it. Schmerby Derp, concentration of kills, still the highest, double anyone else.
4-2 and 1.
You're Being Muted. Who wins? The Fed support Shen or the Fed top lane monster carry out of any lane Jax?
Thinking emoji.
Thud, thud. That tower tells you it all right there.
Who wins 7-1 Jax or inner tower? I mean outer tower. Well,
And now Bronze Gatekeeper doing what Bronze Gatekeeper does. Get caught out. Goodbye. Looks like Bing Bong is making it past Bronze.
unlucky.
Well, it's another kill picked up. Finally, the first kill, mind you. What is Handsome Jack doing? If it didn't work against the Fed Jax, he thinks it's going to work against Kassadin. The answer is no, as he's going to drop and just be another bag of gold, but this time in the hands of Enobino.
Easy kill.
Handsome Jack, I hate to be pessimistic towards some players, but this dude has no idea what's going on when, in terms of playing Ornn. He's failed so many searing charges. He failed Call of the Forge God, and for some reason thought he could 1v1 a Kassadin, but a fight's going to break out. Counter-Strike is going to land onto the Orianna. Flock of Moonsen is no more, as a double kill is picked up by You Are Being Muted. He wants to find 3 at this point. Another Counter-Strike onto introducing. Make that 3. Do we see 4? He says, hell yeah, as he gets a quadra kill. He doesn't find the Penta, though, as Handsome Jack is able to take him down.
Almost a penta there. Now
Almost.
this tells us who wins. Fed support Shen or Fed top lane Jax. He already has a Trinity Force and a Rage Blade.
Oh, there is no stopping this monster right now. And
He
Bronze
isn't
Gatekeeper.
He isn't even going straight into Titanic Hydra. He just wants the Rage Blade. Need more damage, more attack speed, more 1v1 potential, or like 1v4.
Oh, there's no saving this tower. This siege is set in stone. Shelly doing all the work there. They are not going to choose to defend, instead just leave Shelly to pass away. Farewell, RIP. For us to have to pay respects, the recalls go out on the side of Illumination as they set up their next plot to continue dismantling BMO's commandos.
Shelly has done her job. Rest in peace, Shelly.
Farewell.
Yeah, BMO's commandos just have no answer to this team comp. Like, an Olaf that can run the carries down, very immobile carries on the side of Orianna and this Forger. Like, there's nothing you can do when the Olaf with Predator and Unstoppable Ultimate just runs you down. And then there's Kassadin who can just jump out of MF Ultimate and again run you down. Like, there's nothing that can stop him.
Oh, this might be the straw that broke the camel's back, but unfortunately bullet time doesn't go out. You Are Being Muted is down. That's the raid boss they needed to find. And Obino trying to be the support raid boss. He has not finding success just yet. Gets 1 kill, but drops in the process. Now Swordo is here, and he is thirsty. Looking to chase down Handsome Jack, and at this point, Handsome Jack, it's only characteristic of you to make another mistake as he's hunted down and slaughtered at the hands of Bronze Gatekeeper.
Whew.
and you have to give it to Must Negate. We're punting at the name, but the big thing right there was negating the bullet time with the tidal wave. That bullet time would have been absolute disaster for BMO's for Illumination, but comes out just in time, does the job, and even though they lose Muted, everyone else was there to bring up the backup damage, and it was flush.
Yeah, that was the perfect bullet time for Bing Bong 123 right there, right in front of the Baron pit. Gets everyone while everyone on Illumination was taking damage from Baron, but the nice tidal wave just negated everything. Unlucky for BMOs.
You know, they gave all their lives, but you know, at least to stop the Baron.
There
Silver
is
lining.
still hope. There is still hope in everything.
That was really BMO's fight, though. Like, that should have been the big fight for them. Already, Illumination had lost health from the Baron. It was just Shockwave, bullet time, clean house. So sad to see that went awry.
Mhm.
You know, what BMO's Commandos do to really get back into this game at this point? I feel like they desperately need the Wombo combo, but they can't even find it. At this point, there's not much you can do. You don't even have a top laner. He's been absent the entire game. Going into investment banking for timeshares, and you know, he's the sucker selling out all his money to Illumination at this point.
He is trying to learn how to play Ornn in
Here we go again.
15-minute game like Meteos, but
Teleport is gonna come out, tidal wave lands, and it stops the bullet time once again. Block him onto running away, but the smite still comes out from introducing. He is gonna drop for it though. So far, one down on the side of Illumination. They've claimed 4, and BMO's Commandos are just annihilated. And all they got was a Baron they can't even use. And they're gonna give up so much for that steal.
introducing almost the hero for them, but they just cannot team fight.
There was hope there. If you get that steal and at least 3 members survive, maybe something good was gonna come of it.
Yeah, but right now the Baron buff is on no one, and this is an inhibitor going over to Illumination.
They're looking good. They're looking stellar. They're looking like the top team this league has.
No wonder they're still undefeated, and they're looking to be undefeated after this week.
Didn't even know he was there. Now teleports come out. They want to contest this dragon, which it's just a win, Drake friend. I don't think this is worth going for. Instead, they choose to go after it. Muted and Sword are working in tandem. Out goes the tidal wave. It's gonna land onto 3. Bullet time is available, and it does go out, but doesn't get much damage. The flashes are burnt. Call the Forge God doing some work, but they can't find the follow-up they need. They did not work as a team. There's no synergy, and Illumination get away.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect chain ultimates there. Call of the Forge God and Bullet Time, but they were just so out of sync. Bullet Time went out way too early, Call of the Forge God went out way too late, and Illumination will walk out with this Wind Dragon.
They're not playing on the same page. There's no synergy with this team.
Yeah, they drafted a comp that was very wombo combo, needed a lot of synergy, but they were just out of sync.
If you're BMOs, you never let Handsome Jack play Ornn ever again.
True.
I'll say that much right now. And at this point, it's not even disrespect. It's disrespect that he's playing it at the moment, because searing charges he's missed, the weird clunking of skill shots to the point where he misses his own call, the Forge God, when nothing was there to interrupt it. he's looking miserable on this champion. And here comes Call of the Forge God, is going to be used, and once again doesn't go out. Introducing will be the one that pays for it. Out goes the bullet on, getting a lot of damage on the Bronze Gatekeeper. They're looking to find the follow-up. Searing Charge should be coming next, but doesn't get the Searing Charge to go off. Still the Predator being used. Here comes Enobino on the back line trying to do some work, but he's all by his lonesome. Still finds the kill onto him, and Introducing is just going ham, but can't find anything. This is absolute disaster on the side of BMO's Commandos. Flock of Monsoon all by himself. You are being muted alone in the base and with no one to bring back up. 27 minutes into this game, Illumination, the kings of Overdrive League, assert their dominance.
Once again, while his team is fighting, you are being muted. Just single-handedly takes down all the towers and runs it down right there. Very good teamwork from the side of Illumination, and we see why this Kassadin was banned last game. And maybe starting next week, teams will start banning this Jax too. Just maybe.
And if you want a challenge and you're going against BMOs, ban out the Ornn. Don't let Handsome Jack play it. That's a free win if he gets it at this point. And it should be a wake-up call that if something's meta, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to play it. You still need to know how to play the champion. You still need to draft towards comfort and meta at the same time. And if he looked lost. He looked like he was in the tutorial trying to figure out how to play the game when he was playing that Ornn.
Indeed. Especially in amateur leagues like this, it's way more important to play comfort than play meta. Just like, I wouldn't even consider Kassadin being meta now, provided that like it's an early game meta nowadays, but this Kassadin has been looking very good. And we see why it's a banned champion in the previous game. Not because it's meta, but it's like he's just so good at it. So maybe Handsome Jack just needs to find a champion like that.
Maybe. But yeah, that is going to do it for our side of the cast. Our block is done. But that doesn't mean you should go away, because Brainstorm Gaming is looking to make their debut in block number 2. That is going to be next when we return. But for right now, I'm your caster, Destrux. This was my co-caster, Kirby. And we will be departing for the time being. But still, stay tuned for the hot Overdrive League action coming up next.
Peace.
If you work in a team